That's what I've been waiting for. That's what it's all about. Woo!
So that's just awesome right there. So, thank you so much for checking this out. Back to the subject at hand, the continuation of the history of the Æthelish. So, where we left off was basically that the Saki people, the predecessors to the Æthelish, landed in the far western parts of Occitania, the western lands, and all that. Now, the first city they founded was the city of Rhodes on the coast. And, they were settling in for a bit, but pretty soon they began to get issues with the local people. Or, not really people, the orcish population of the area. Now, to not go into too much detail, since I'm going to be making an individual video talking about them, the orcs are rather monstrous creatures that don't have souls and all, and, they tend to be rather violent and destructive and generally impulsive and horrible, monstrous creatures. Although they do have some semblance of organization, but that organization is mostly just applied by force and intimidation. Regardless, they're generally stronger and more powerful than humans. So they're a very dangerous force, especially in a one-to-one basis. And during that time, Rhodes was being raided by smaller bands. The orc who was the top dog in the area was this guy called Thraz. He began to lead his band, which was the largest in the area, to invade and attack Rhodes. Now, the siege of Rhodes was rather difficult for the Æthelish, especially since this was for them very fresh wounds, since not too long ago ended up losing their home of Saxon. So now to have, their new home basically destroyed was a pretty real fear that everyone had. But Ethel, son of Lord Elred, managed to maintain the resolve of the people during this brutal siege, and eventually the orcs would give up the siege. Now, following this, Elred would lead a counterattack to catch the orcs on their run. However, unfortunately, he ended up being captured and soon was later killed. Over the course of some 20 or so years, Ethel would continue to fight against the orcs until eventually they managed to take the Low Mountain, the main base of operations for the orcs. Now, after destroying their main camp, he declared that a new city should be founded named Sindon, after his daughter, and that it should be a reminder to the people of their struggle for existence. Immediately after this declaration, he ended up falling dead, and his son, Edward, would take over after him. Now, shortly upon reaching his position as successor, he declared himself, instead of Lord of the Sigir, instead King of the Æthelish, to try to bring himself into a larger, more important position, and also to declare sort of the start of a new era and the end of the old Saki people. Basically wanted to transform the culture from there on after as established in that area, and also sort of build up loyalty to him and his household, using his father as a sort of symbol of unity amongst the people, as well as building him up as sort of the father of the people, which ended up working pretty well for him. This is why Ethel is not ever considered the first king of Æthelland, but rather that it is Edward, or Edward the Bold, who is considered the first official king of Æthelland, and all his successors would be declared as such thereafter. Think about why Julius Caesar is not ever considered the official emperor of Rome, or Charles Martel is not considered the first Carolingian king of the Franks. These people were never officially the king or emperor, however, because they sort of laid the groundwork for what came afterward, they became sort of in this special category, kind of unique to themselves. Anyways, enough with real history, back to fake stuff. So Edward moved the capital away from Rhodes and towards the new city of Sindon, and sometime later would come into conflict with the orcs again in the Second Orcish War, which lasted for quite a while, but eventually Edward proved himself to be, despite his critics, a very capable and effective leader, both in war and in peace. Speaking of peace, that's where the kingdom would remain after the Second Orcish War. For the next 50 years or so, with, honestly, I haven't really detailed the history in between the Second and Third Orcish War, but yeah, I'll fill that out at some point. But, for now, I think this is actually a pretty good place to stop, because the next two Orcish wars are going to be pretty dense when it comes to content. But to close out, I would like to thank all of you for all the just insane amount of I mean, I guess insane to me, because like over 100 people in like a couple of days, it's like, cheese and crackers, that's so much. I was like, I didn't, after the first few videos, I was thinking to myself,
it's a long road when you're on your own.
But, I'm here for it. But, like 100 and it's like, woo, it's getting somewhere now. It's like, ooh, it's getting exciting. I got a few, nice comments from some of my viewers and stuff like that. Very appreciative of that. Thank you in general for all your support and all. And I'll keep going, keep pushing, and we're gonna make something of this. Also, I'd like to say, happy 4th of July, even though this isn't on the 4th of July when I uploaded this, but that's beside the point. Happy 4th of July!
My fellow Americans!
In case you didn't realize I was American, now you know. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you around.